All right, it's Thursday. We're going into week 5. That means it's prediction day. Let's get into it. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back into the Bears Den, an NFL podcast with the Chicago Bears First Focus. I'm your host, Alex, and today it is Thursday. It is predictions day. I had a bounce back week last week. Week 3, we went 6-10 on the picks, our worst prediction week of the year. Week 4, this past week, we went 9-7. Predicted a lot of upsets, so I'm pretty happy coming out of that week with a 9-7 record. Puts us at 33-31 on the year. We are above 500. We can be happy about that. Would I like it to be a little bit better? Yes, absolutely, but we'll take what we can get. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. As always, I'm using the Playoff Predictor website. You can use this website to do all your picks. It saves all your picks. These are the actual records on the screen. I have it set to show, and we'll go ahead and we'll get into it. Like I said, I'm 33-31 on this year, so let's have a great week this week. All right. We'll start with AFC matchups as always this week. Houston, Buffalo. These are my first time really seeing these matchups this week too. So besides the Bears game, so going to be doing this, on the spot pretty much. I'm going to take Buffalo here. Like I said, I think Buffalo is one of the better teams in the league. If you saw my power rankings video yesterday, I think they had a rough game against Baltimore. I think Baltimore's scheme and kind of the way Baltimore plays is kind of rough. It's like a rough matchup for Buffalo. I just think that they've looked pretty solid, and Josh Allen is one of those quarterbacks that can kind of maneuver the pocket and get away from this front four of Houston. Stroud, obviously a great quarterback, but Houston hasn't really been a fantastic team yet this year. They're 3-1, but they haven't looked like themselves, and they haven't really played a complete, full, solid game. They've looked, suspect in certain areas of each game. So I'm going to take Buffalo here on the road. Up next, Indy Jacksonville. I believe this one is in London, right? Excuse me. I'm not sure if Anthony Richardson is playing. I'm still going to take the Colts because I think if he's not playing, I think Flacco is going to get it done. Look, Jacksonville looks like the worst team in the league. They're 0-4. Statistically, they are the worst team in the league. Trevor Lawrence is looking really rough. He hasn't won since Thanksgiving last year, and I just think Jacksonville is really not that great. And I don't think necessarily Indy is that great either, but I think, with Joe Flacco, that's just a veteran leader in there that's going to come in and get it done. Up next, big AFC North matchup, Cincinnati-Baltimore. I'm going to take Baltimore here. I think Cincy is, the media's kind of back on Cincy after they beat Carolina. Pump the brakes a little bit. They've looked rough this year. I think that, I predicted them, I think, to win the AFC. Clearly, I was wrong on that, but, I think Baltimore's really kind of finding their footing again, and they're coming back to what we expected them to be at the start of the season, and I think they'll go ahead and get it done. So that's 3 straight road wins so far that I've got for this week. Up next, Miami, New England. Give me New England here. Look, Miami looks like one of the worst teams in the league without Tua, and I think, if you're a fan of either of these teams, sorry, I think this is going to be an unfun watch, but I think Brissett will be able to get it done. It's just Miami can't do anything. They can't move the ball. They can't score. They can't look like an actual offense without Tua. So, that says a lot about Tua and the value he brings to the team, but I think it says that it's definitely not a plug and play offense for Mike McDaniel. You need the right guy in there to run that offense. And so I'm taking New England there. And then Raiders, Broncos. Give me Las Vegas here. I just think that I was surprised last week. I thought with no Devontae Adams, no Max Crosby, that they were going to lose to Cleveland, and they came out and they won and they got it done. And I think that they are just a better team than I thought that they were going to be at the start of the season. I think they're just a better team than Denver, and so that's really why I have them on the road here. All right, AFC versus NFC matchups this week. Jets, Vikings, Aaron Rodgers coming back to Minnesota to play. I'm going to take Minnesota here. The Jets really, really weird, really bad loss last week against Denver in a game where Bo Nix had 60 passing yards. I think that the Jets are able to get Devontae Adams, then they'll be the narrative's going to flip on them. But I just think that Minnesota's the hottest team in the league right now. They look really, really good, really strong, and I think as long as Sam Darnold keeps that level of play up, they're going to be looking pretty good. So I'll take Minnesota. Up next, Washington, Cleveland. This one to me is a coin flip. Obviously, Jaden Daniels has looked good, but if you watch the film on him, he's very one read. He's very one read and go quarterback. He's staring his guys down, and defenses are going to catch on to this. And this is a better defense in the league, especially with Myles Garrett up front. I'm going to go with Cleveland here to bounce back. I think that this is going to be the first of the Jaden Daniels struggles. I promise that they're coming, and that's not me trying to, prey on his downfall because I'm a Bears fan. I just think that the style of football that he's playing and staring down receivers and hitting the first man is great in college, and it's great for your first couple weeks in the NFL. But eventually, these teams are going to get, they get paid a lot of money to figure this stuff out, and they're going to catch on, and they're going to catch on, and they're going to start to figure things out. And I think this is the start of that. Up next, pretty good game, Pittsburgh, Dallas. I'm going to take Pittsburgh here. I think no Micah Parsons is definitely going to hurt Dallas, and it's definitely going to hurt Dallas against a quarterback that's mobile like Justin Fields. Obviously, a bad loss for Pittsburgh last week, a game that they probably want back, a game they probably should have won. I think they'll bounce back this week. They've got a good coach. They've got a good team. They've got a good, good quarterback and so on. So I like Pittsburgh here, this one. And I think with this one too, with Dallas, they're just so one-dimensional, and they will be against TJ Watt in this front on Pittsburgh that, Dak's going to have to pass, and the defense is going to be able to just play for that. Up next, Saints, Kansas City. It's going to be interesting because Kansas City obviously isn't going to have Rashee Rice. We don't know what the Saints are. They look so good. They look like maybe the best team in the league week one, and then now they look not that. So I'm going to take Kansas City here. Part of me wants to take New Orleans. I just think that Kansas City just finds ways to win. They just find ways to win, and that's who they are. Finally, we'll move to the NFC matchups this week. I like Atlanta here. I think Atlanta's kind of, finding their footing. I think Tampa's had a really good year this year too, but I think, I just think that Kirk Cousins has looked pretty decent. They've got a lot of weapons on offense. They're pretty well coached so far, and it's a tough NFC South game, and I just like Atlanta in that one. Carolina versus the Bears. I like the Bears here. I think that, the Bears offense has been stacking progress the past couple weeks, and I think that Carolina is one of the weaker teams in the league. And I think Andy Dalton's really going to struggle against this defense. He's not mobile. I think he's going to get baited into throwing some stuff. And, I think if the Bears were able to take down Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay last week, I think taking down Andy Dalton is pretty easy for them. And if the Bears were to lose this game, then I'd have some real concerns. 3 games left. Arizona, San Francisco. Give me San Francisco. I thought Arizona was looking nice, but then they're not. So kind of hard to tell. But San Francisco, obviously one of the better teams in the league. Roster-wise, we know that. They have one of the best coaches in the league and a really solid quarterback in Brock Purdy. And so, yeah, they're injured, they're banged up, but they just have so many weapons in the roster so deep that it just doesn't really matter. Giants, Seahawks. I like the Giants here, actually, believe it or not. I think Seattle started the season 3-0. They played against some weaker opponents, and I just think that the Giants, are coming off a really close win against a divisional opponent last week, or a really close loss against a divisional opponent that usually whoops them. So I think they're going to have a little bit of motivation and momentum, and I think that they will steal a win. And finally, Green Bay and the Rams. I'm gonna pick the Rams here. I don't think I'm being biased. I just think Jordan Love is a quarterback that was paid too much too early. And I think that Green Bay is going to have concerns about that contract. And I just think that they're going to drop this game. And so I think the Rams are going to bounce back too. So that's it. That's where we stand this week. Hopefully we'll have a good week. And we can continue building on this above 500 record. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Really helps grow the channel. I appreciate you guys tuning in with me every single week. Trying to hit to 100. Trying to hit 100 subscribers. That would really mean the world to me if we can do that. And if you don't follow me on Twitter, follow me over there, Shy Sports Alex. Always talking football and sports and other stuff as well. So go ahead and drop a follow over there. And thanks for hanging out with me today. I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bear down as always. Have a good one. Peace.